the times I've gone on holidays, I don't know, to places that culturally are quite different from
completely,
from
yes.
our
Where you're
our
from, yeah.
day to day. Of course, things are different. Of course, but through whatever adversities you might find, whatever problems you might have trying to settle, trying to get used to things, but people will try their best.
Welcome to my podcast. I'm Tanya Corless, and today we talk about the culture drop. What is that? It's immigrant, it's a professional immigrant, or just somebody who tried to move from one country to another. We'll talk and discover. Today I have my guest, Monse. I call her Monse, but she's Montserrat. Montserrat, can you introduce yourself?
My name is Monse. It's nice and short. And I'm from a city that is 60k far from Barcelona. I'm a pharmacist, and I came to Ireland in 2005 to work as a pharmacist.
Okay, you came here just because you decided to change the country, you was looking for new opportunities, or you've been offered a job already?
It was at that age, I was 31, so I was looking for a bit of adventure, really. I didn't have any need to leave my country, but I just felt like it. So that was it. I decided I didn't come, empty-handed. I looked for a job before coming here, and I was lucky enough to find one. It was the beginning of looking for jobs in internet, InfoJobs. It was the very beginning of all that. And I was lucky I got a job, and I came straight away.
Okay, and you got a job straight away in the pharmacy or somewhere else?
No, it was in a community pharmacy in County Mayo.
So far away from Dublin.
I know. And that initially it was for a year, but I ended up staying way many years after that.
That's great. And when you was working there, did you feel it was hard to be immigrant because maybe it's a language barrier, maybe it's people can't accept your accent, maybe something else?
Oh well, they are nice questions because first of all, in terms of the main thing, and I'm going to tell you that I had the job interview with the man that was going to be my boss in Castlebar, and he kindly came to Barcelona to do the interview. And anyway, we had a bit of a chat, and basically his main concern was how would I accept the weather in the west of Ireland.
Oh, the weather especially.
So his concern was not my English, was not even my professional skills at that point. One of the things he showed me during the interview was a folder with a graph of rainfall and temperatures in the west of Ireland. So I could make up my mind, and, at least I'd say he thought, okay, if you come to the west of Ireland, don't tell me I didn't warn you beforehand. So I was quite shocked when I saw that graph. But yeah, no. From then on in the pharmacy, I never had a problem.
Oh,
really,
that's great.
No, never had a problem. And actually, because of the accent and everything, when I learned English when I was younger, I learned American English. So I used to have this strong American accent, and
now you have a typical Irish
and then
accent.
that kind of mellowed a bit because I went to London and did an Erasmus in London. But still, when I came to Ireland, I had this kind of a funny accent that was a bit American, a bit from everywhere. People couldn't pinpoint where I was from. Some people said if I was from France or Norway. Some people said Australian or South African. So they placed me everywhere in the world except Spain. So I'm quite content.
So anyway, that you moved to Mayo and you was working in a pharmacy, you probably integrate easily in the community. Or did you find the friends quickly? Did you find way to
I must say,
express yourself out of that work?
Yeah, they made me feel very welcome.
That's good.
Now, never mind, it's not as big as Dublin. It's a town, and you really get to know people very quickly, especially if you work in a pharmacy where
everybody go there,
half the village just passes by. So I quickly got to know, the people or whoever was at the till in Super Value, or the man from the bike shop next to us, or the girls at the cafe across from us. So you start meeting people, and then your work colleagues, like, they were very good. And so I really didn't have a problem.
That's
like
great.
It was lovely.
So, and would you give any recommendation for anybody who nowadays will try to move in to Ireland with a degree, even pharmacy, doesn't matter what the degree, they're professional immigrant, we'll call them like this, where they have to start? They have to start from, I don't know, job.ie, or they better go to some organization or find some fund who will able to help them to find a job and maybe accommodate them and welcome them, help them?
Well, in my case, and of course, things probably have changed so much. So initially in 2005, it was jobs.ie.
Now this one's too.
But there was a bit of a hiccup in all those years. And it was in 2014, I left Mayo to go back home for good. That's what I thought. But I didn't, of course, and I didn't last 2 years at home.
Did you miss Ireland?
I was not getting used to the way things were done at home. I was missing Ireland.
Okay.
So then, early 2016, I started working again in Ireland, but I came in late 2015 to look for a job. But sure, after all those years, things had changed so much.
Of course, yeah.
And then the shortage of pharmacists was not as bad as it had been in 2005.
Okay.
So I said, okay, where do I start? And then I started thinking, should I go back to Mayo or will I try Dublin? And then I really fancied, rather than working in a community pharmacy, I knew what it was. So I wanted to try something different. And I thought about hospital.
Challenge.
Yeah. And then, of course, I thought, sure, Dublin will be much better in terms of job offers.
Opportunities, yes, of course.
In hospitals. So at that point, I said, well, Montse, you're going to go to each of the hospitals with your CV under your arm. They need to see you. They need to listen to you, and
you should just sell yourself.
And this is exactly what I did. So I went the old-fashioned way. So
that's great.
No internet, no headhunters, no nothing like that. I just walked to every single hospital for 2 days. I went to every hospital in Dublin with my CVs under my arm. And I was lucky enough that I got a job where I'm working now.
Fantastic. So where are you working at the moment then?
I'm working at the National Maternity Hospital.
Right.
Yeah, it's lovely. So, and I remember...
And there you for how long? For 10 years?
I started in January 2016 up until now.
Oh, wow. It's
Yeah.
a good career. Well done.
Yeah.
Anyway, so when you... Back a little bit, when you get in and you probably meet some other immigrants, and how do you... Maybe you can tell stories how other one compared to you, or you compared to other one, try to integrate. I'm talking about from the point, not just to find a job, not just to feel comfortable around the community, but also about your professional part of you. Because I believe the system in Spain would be slightly different compared to Ireland. And from your point of view, again, maybe you have story from the else. How did you, what you invest from your point to Ireland to bring your knowledge, maybe skills, maybe something else to improve Irish system?
Okay. Now I must say that I'm so basically I'm an Irish pharmacist rather than a Spanish pharmacist, because
course.
I've practiced for so long here in Ireland.
But at the time,
at that point, I know that ethically it wouldn't be the best thing, but in Spain we were quite used to giving a lot of things over the counter. A lot of things that here
Only under prescription.
Yeah,
Okay.
you would have. You needed a prescription for them. And actually that at the beginning kind of frustrated me because there were people coming to the pharmacy and saying, oh, I have this problem and this other. And I knew exactly what to give them, but I couldn't. So I suppose in that regard, maybe even though I could have sorted out the problems of many people, I was not allowed by
You
law.
will basically
I was not allowed to do it.
After right, yeah.
But I don't think there was much of a difference, really, apart from, like, the big thing was in terms of legislation and all the things that we could do back in Spain back then, because now it's getting a bit more restrictive, and the things that I couldn't do in Ireland. And then another thing that I found a bit frustrating as well, you come here, you say, okay, I'm a pharmacist, I'm supposed to know everything about medication. But sure, all the pharmacists in the world, they know what is paracetamol. But the problem is that paracetamol in Spain, there will be a brand called Gelocatil. And here in Ireland, there will be Panadol. Yeah. And then in America, it's going to be Tylenol. So if someone comes in and says, I want a Tylenol, or as it used to happen to me here,
you wouldn't think
Solpatin, and I was thinking, God, Solpatin, what is Solpatin? Of course, when I read the ingredients, I was fine.
You'll recognize, yeah.
But it's just getting use of the brands and all that kind of thing, and the brands and the way people call certain ailments.
Okay,
that would have been another funny story when. People would come and at the very beginning, they would say, will you give me something for piles? And I was a bit frozen, like, piles of what? I didn't really know what piles meant. Of course, I've heard of hemorrhoids.
Yeah.
But piles to me was something from, like, I didn't know the meaning of it. Or, can you give me something? I have the runs. And, like the runs of what is running. So
I can imagine the customer secretly, oh my God, what is this?
So it was these peculiarities in describing, thank God I had all my lovely colleagues that they were there to save me.
Here to help you.
But yeah, no, apart from that, look, a pharmacist here is the same as a pharmacist anywhere.
Yeah. And what about the Irish culture here in Ireland? What do you think? For example, because it's a rainy days most of the times, and people going where? Not on the beach, not in the forest. It's a rain. They're going to the pub. How did you find from the beginning? Now we get used to. But at the time, how do you think, what you was thinking, really? It was shocked to you? It was kind of, it's okay?
Oh, I love going to the pub myself. The only thing that I was missing at the beginning, I still miss it in a way, is that I cannot eat anything in the pub, as in tapas.
Okay. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Like in Spain, you'd maybe after work you'd go to the pub and you'll have a drink, but then you feel a bit peckish, and you don't really want to have a full meal, but you might want to have maybe a few crackers with a bit of, I don't know, cold meats or a bit of cheese.
Something just to keep you going. Yes.
Just unable to keep you going. And not be drinking on an empty stomach. And this is the part that
I would never understand.
The pub, the crisps and potatoes, and
I'm getting used to know.
No, they don't do it for me. But sure, look, I know what's there, so I take it or leave it, and I'd rather take it.
But you probably can compare now Dublin and Mayo pubs, for example, the culture point of view. That in county pubs, I noticed there sometimes, depending on the pub, they're serving sandwiches. Yes. Did you come across that?
Yes.
I was recently on the Easter break. I was down in Kinvara. So yes, when you're coming in the pub, there in particular time, whatever, maybe need to know the time. I don't know. I catch few good times. So they're serving sandwiches, something. It was whatever it was, sausages, something like that. It was going around. So it's instead of the tapas, as you said.
Yeah.
So you find it's very kind of different, completely different, right? Is it bad or good from your point of view?
It's just different.
Just different. Correct.
Yeah, we cannot say it's better or worse. No, it's just different. It's the way things are done
Again,
here.
back to respect.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. So, but I do remember just across from where I was working, there was my local, as I'm going to call it, and in that pub, we used to pop in maybe on a Friday after work, and on Fridays he used to serve finger food, for free. There would be at a certain time there would be chips passing by and sausages and nuggets,
Whatever, like finger food kind of type,
yeah,
whatever.
like he would start, bringing out a few trays of things.
Something, yeah,
and
good
that
to
was
see.
just nice, just to
Very
mark.
nice,
Yeah,
absolutely. And to be honest, in my opinion, it's keep people staying in, not to go anywhere else. That is true. So, and I found at the beginning, for me, it was very strange how people used to go into the pub, drinking, whatever, and no food serving. As you said, now when we get used to it, it's okay. But at the time, I was a little bit shocked myself. That's why I'm asking this question. And sometimes people forget from the point, you're here a guest.
Yes.
You're welcome, but you came, if you're not integrated, if you're not accepted, if you're not able to respect in a good way, not just follow that, you probably will be feel outsider. What do you think?
I suppose, there would be a point there. But even let's say when you go on holidays, let's say within Europe, at the end of the day, we are all part of the Western world,
Correct, yeah.
But I'm just talking from the times I've gone on holidays, I don't know, to India or Burma or the Philippines or places that culturally are quite different from
completely, yes.
from our
Where you're from,
day to day. And I find, again, if you arrive there, if you are respectful, if you, of course things are different, of course. But people, I do believe that people will do their best to make you feel welcome through whatever adversities you might find, whatever problems you might have trying to settle, trying to get used to things. But people will try their best. And with all that, you see, I was quite lucky that I could come to Ireland. Sure, look, it's EU country. I didn't have to do too much in order to bring all my paperwork together. Like that. And I can jump on a flight in 2 hours. I'm at home. I can see my parents. Okay. But for example, people that are here working from India or from the Philippines or from Pakistan or, Saudi Arabia or wherever they are from. Oh my God, like just thinking that maybe they see their families once every 2 or 3 years or more.
It's hard for them,
and,
yes, true.
And then there's a cultural shock, their religions might not be the same, their foods are not the same, their customs are not the same. So, but look,
everything is different.
Yeah. So I suppose for them probably would be really a higher cultural drop.
Yeah.
But again, they are here, they are quite happy here, or at least the ones I meet quite often, they are happy. And I think it's all about that. It's all about, embracing, I'm in a different country, but I embrace whatever differences. I learn from you, you learn from me. We exchange things. And recently I saw a film that said something quite nice, that said, who eats together sticks together. And
that's great. I love that.
And saying that now I work in the neonatal unit. So in the neonatal unit now, we are doing these once a month. We are doing these lunches. And
together.
and different people from different areas are in charge of preparing lunch. So
That's a great idea.
We started with the Indian lunch, and all the Indian staff from the unit, they prepared their Indian lunch, and we got to sample all the Indian goodies. Well, not we, because I was not there. I sadly missed it. Then we had the European lunch, where the French, the Polish, the Romanians, the Spanish, we prepared things. This Monday, we had the Filipino lunch. That was a feast. It was amazing. And I think that the next one is going to be the Middle East lunch.
Oh my gosh.
You see, and that's
I'm
it.
jealous.
We learn about the different foods, we learn about their culture.
Yeah.
They are very happy to share that with
Of course.
the rest of the people. I am very happy to sample all the foods from all over the world. So it's just something that connects us together, that brings us together. And look, it's just nice. I get passionate talking about food, so I'd better shut up.
No, I love it, to be honest. And it's a great idea. That's actually what all other employers have to do at their places, because it's help people to feel welcome and people start feeling acceptable. And they're happy to share their stuff together. Not only food, the stories, their culture as well. Because sometimes when you're abroad, you don't have the close family, and the close family as a friend becomes a close family. And you try to deliver everything what you gain back home.
Yeah.
When we're talking about the immigrants, especially professional immigrant, for professional immigrant, it's easy because they do have already something what they can use and help the country for themselves, of course, to make money and whatever. But when you meet all of them, I would just say, don't judge where they're from. Don't try to say, oh my gosh, you just came here because whatever. No, some people who came to Ireland, any other out of countries, so they're educated people.
Yeah.
They're very intelligent people. They have probably a great family been left behind. And we can't know everybody's stories to judge. Why?
Exactly.
Because who you are to judge, who you are to say that's where, oh my gosh, you have some accent, but maybe he has an accent, but how many languages do you speak yourself? Do you speak 1 or 3 languages? Maybe he knows 5. Yes, he speaks with accent, but he able to express and be even survive and live a good life in some other countries. What about yourself? So people, please look at yourself first before to say, oh my God, you're not from our community. So that is brilliant. I love. From the culture part of view, Irish, but a part of pop culture, they love gathering together and playing music.
Oh, yes.
Especially, again, in the evening in the pub, they have those. I love it.
Yeah.
And how do you find yourself that?
Oh, I love it. I used to, when I was in Mayo, I got to meet quite a nice bunch of people, and they used to play in pubs, and sometimes we would go and watch their sessions, and then I would have gone to a few féiles, as they call it. And it was just great listening to all these talented, because I really believe the Irish are so talented in terms of music. Oh my God, like music, singing, they are very, very talented. So you would be there at a féile listening all day to people singing, to people playing, and then at the end of the day, everybody quite happy, of course, with a few pints.
This main part of that,
a few pints shared, and then the spontaneity of people just, okay, now I'm just standing up and I'm singing, and
then somebody from another corner
all this kind
will
of the
follow,
channel singing, and all this singing from the heart and from the gut, and I think it's just beautiful.
I love this too. I think that is a part of Irish culture that actually attract other ones. And that's why what you said, once you arrived here, you spent a while, then you said to get back home and you back. I think this is a culture part of that, of course, just to bring you back. What do you think from that?
Yeah, these are the things that I did miss when I and then there was this expression when I came back to Ireland that my second time, and people said, "Oh, but why did you come back? Like, coming from a country like Spain where it's so nice and sunny and the weather and the food." And I just had to say something. And it was, yes, okay, Ireland might have loads of clouds and loads of rain, but the beauty of Ireland is the Irish people.
That's
because
true. Absolutely.
Every single person is a little sunshine. And this is the part that I actually couldn't get over when I went back home, and I couldn't settle.
Oh, my darling.
And but it was something so silly, like going to the supermarket and getting I remember going to Tesco in Castlebar, Super Value, and the people there at the counter, and hello, good morning, how are you?
The smile is a time,
the smile and the chat and these are the things that I missed when I went back home, where they could barely say good morning.
I do agree. Yeah, and that is true.
What is it they ask for? The do you have a club card? Yeah, good morning. Do you have the club card? Barely looking at you. Oh God! I said no. I have to go back.
Yeah, I come across such experience too. When I'm back home, I remember my first time at the beginning, and just go to the supermarket to get something from the display, and I said, "Okay, what is that under this? Can you read it? The label?" I said, "Excuse me, what?"
Yeah.
So in Ireland, yes, people very helpful, very welcoming. I agree about that. And they smile all the time, and they try to help you, even if it's a silly question. You probably ask, they try to explain to you because they're try to be for you, there for you at the moment. Yeah, that is true. So we all love Ireland, and Ireland is not just a country where everybody tries to find their maybe your own home. It's a country where everybody welcome if you just come in here for a short visit or you'd like to stay for good. I never plan to stay here for a few years longer than I stay in at the moment.
Oh no, I just came for initially a year, and look at me now.
No, I was thinking a few years and then eventually, so. Hard to believe, isn't it? Anyway, thank you very much, Monse. It was so nice to have you here.
Oh, it was.
I hope you see
great.
you again.
Thanks very much. Thank you, Tatiana.